Hello, 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 everyone. We are live for the ladies' first panel for today for Thursday to be discussing Married at First Sight, Sistas, and other things. So give us a second. We're going to let y'all come on into the room, okay? But we are here. We are ready. But go ahead, get you some liquor, some water, some tea, whatever you want to get. Have a seat, and we'll be with y'all in 1 minute, okay? Okay, so we have 100 people in the room. I'm like, what? A whole 100 already? So we will be getting started. Y'all ready, ladies? I want to make sure that Jamie and Bonnie is both ready.
Yeah.
Ready.
Okay, let me take let's take our logo off, honey. Take the logo off. Okay. So we let me show myself. I'm here too. Okay.
Boom. Ta-da.
I be fake. Let me put my earpod in. Hey, how y'all doing today on this Thursday? Friday Eve, as I like to call it.
Ooh, girl, I'm tired.
Good and tired.
Yeah, but I'm here. I'm excited to talk about Married at First Sight with y'all because it was a hot ass mess.
It was, I was like,
It was.
oh,
It was
that's
quite.
it.
I'm gonna give it to him.
And I think I may have an unpopular opinion on some stuff, so I can't wait until we get to that. Cause some part I was like,
I think I know, and I don't think it's an unpopular opinion.
okay. Because I'm like, I gotta see how everybody else think about it, but I don't know this yet. But that will be a little later on, okay? Married at First Sight will be the last show that we discuss. We will always have somebody put in the chat where the timestamp is, where it starts. So don't like, why y'all taking so long? Because we have other stuff to talk about, okay? And the first little off subject, not about a talk show, TV that we're going to discuss is April Jones. Honey, April Jones did her interview with Madame Noir. And she said that the only reason she did Love and Hip Hop was to stop gay rumors about Omarion. I ain't never heard Omarion was gay. I didn't hear that. She said his management said it'd be good for his image to let people see who he is, who he's dating, to stop these gay rumors. And I'm like, is she lying? Is it the truth? What's up with April and the foolishness of it all?
See, y'all know I see April for her works. And at this point, I think we have to recognize the pattern that happens here. Where April is on a show or April is doing something in reality TV. So then all of a sudden shit behind the scenes and interviews where you say dumb shit, or pat your puss. Cause don't forget, she's a world-renowned puss patter. Okay. Her and Evelyn Lozada, puss patters around the world.
Hello.
Okay, for the same season, basically a reality show bullshit. I don't know what she has to. Oh, wow! I know that ringtone. I don't know. I don't know what she has to gain from this bullshit, but I do feel like she often comes out and says some bullshit about Omarion, and Omarion is just like, I'm light in love, bitch. It bounces off of me and goes right back to you. So at the end of the day, I doubt he'll respond. And why is she not worrying about Dre? Why are you not talking about Dre on Madame Noir instead of talking about Omarion? Don't play with him like that. Even if he is gay, nobody gives a fuck right now. Omarion is a great artist. Don't play with him like that.
Now, I've heard rumors more recently than I have back at the time when she decided to come on the show. There have been like some of the gossip blog pages that have been, kind of saying that about him. But those were things that were happening like recently, like as of like 2020, people trying to say that. But as far as her trying to go all the way back to the show, like, oh, I did the show because I was trying to cover up the gay rumors. Like, I never heard anything like that back then. Like, none of that back then. And even if that was the case, which I do not believe, April, in my opinion, girl, you continue to stay on the show. You continue to do the show, and you're continuing to do the show right now. So if you want to be back with your baby daddy, then just say that.
And had 2 kids
What
with
you
him.
say,
He had 2 whole children.
And like Omarion, remember Omarion left the show and she was still on.
And she stayed on there.
So to act like it was, to make him look good, it was like, no, bitch, don't do that. Because Omarion was so unproblematic. And I think after the first season, he just wanted to fill out his contract. And he had the music coming out and all that. So he did what he had to do. I think that was to promote his album more than anything. And it did that. Because I think that album is a really great album. Yeah, that's like one of my favorite albums of all time, Sex Playlist. Anyway, but April, to me, she's on the show. I'm watching it, y'all. I'm rewatching season 2 of Love and Hip Hop Hollywood right now on Amazon Prime. And she the one that's like, when are we gonna do something with my career, Omari? When are we gonna do something with my career, Omari? So it's just kind of like, really, now you're gonna put it all on him and gay rumors, bitch? It just seems hella shiesty, like it's
exactly
of getting back at him for something that we don't know about.
Exactly. And I don't think he's gay. I don't think he's gay, but if he is, I feel like, and so what? You've moved on from him. That's really none of your concern or your business. And I'm so glad Omarion is in his zen where he is cool. Because imagine helping motherfuckers get on the show to the point in their pocket, April and Fizz, and then they turn around and want to do some shiesty shit to you. So it's like that karma gonna hit a little differently in a minute.
That's how.
And I feel like if he responds, it's gonna be some bullshit. I think if he respond, people will act like he shouldn't. But I'm like, I'm happy he's always. But like, you know what? I'm not gonna spray her. I feel like he has info on her that we don't know. But he like, why even go down her level? Like I could ruin you. And I think she knows that. And that's why she keeps like every year or so, it's always something about why he a bad person, why they didn't work out. I'm like, but is it you? Is any of it you? Are you sure it's not you? Because I'm like, you it's always you had issues with Fizz, and y'all got together, now you with Dre, and now you fussing with Moniece. I'm like, it's just always something going on with her and her, and this is what she got going on.
Always.
And with Moniece,
and it's crazy because Omarion does not speak on her. Omarion don't speak on her because off of the strength that's the mother of his kids, but she's over here doing these interviews and not respecting the fact that that's my children's dad, and they may end up seeing this interview at some point.
Right.
Just stupidity.
I think that's kind of messed up.
It is.
Now with Moniece, do y'all think Moniece should ever just mind her own business? I think she's always putting her foot in stuff that's not her juice, and then she gets handled in one way or the other, and then she kind of plays victim. I feel like, I don't know Dre. I don't know that man at all, but I do think that Moniece is not a person who was a threat to him or whatever. So I don't even think anyone cared about Moniece saying April and Dre was together. So why would he then call you? I'm like, to me, it didn't make any sense. And how do you know it was him? Like, how did he get your number? Why did he call you?
She said it wasn't him. It was somebody that called her. So that makes me feel it was an understanding. I think that he doesn't want anything said about their relationship outside of them. He doesn't want that confirmed or denied by anybody else. Yes, I agree with you about Moniece. Yeah, bitch, you could have not said something. Like, for real, the interviewer didn't ask you that. So you really could have left that alone. But you're messy, and we appreciate you for it. I mean, I'm not going to act like it wasn't a TE when she talked about it and was like, I'm just surprised that he wifed her because she's like pussy patting and fucking everybody and, being with half of B2K, bitch. Like, I'm surprised that somebody of his caliber will fuck with her. That was an absolute true statement and what most people thought when they saw them together. Like, word.
What?
Loving hip hop, Dre. She fucked Lil Fizz the other night. Like, what? Okay.
Right.
So I think Moniece was coming from the place of being somebody on the outside, but also knowing shit. So it's kind of hard for you to not say something, especially if you don't like the bitch. So I think April about it and Dre did something about it. That's what it feels like to me. I could be wrong though, and I'm open to be wrong.
I think Monique definitely. I think she definitely could have shut up. She definitely be putting her foot in her mouth sometimes. But I think she don't like April, and she on her motherfucking ass, and that's just on P. I think she's definitely on her ass. It is what it is. And to Bondi's point about him not wanting anybody to say anything publicly makes me wonder if he doesn't want that, considering the fact that he's going through this divorce and the ex-wife or soon to be ex-wife is looking to have, allegedly what they're saying is that she's looking to have get in touch with some of the mistresses or something to have them like speak out when it comes down to the court case. So he could have, I don't know, sent somebody to like check her real quick. Who knows?
Because they been talking for a while, supposedly, because April had posted out. It was months ago. Someone posted like one of her old posts where she put in that how she was now dating someone, but she did not say who. So for her now to be hanging out with Dre, they thinking that maybe she meant then they were talking and she did not say that and they went out to dinner. And I think they thought no one would recognize her because she had the mask on and her tattoos. Her tattoos gave her on her hand. And April always looks like April, even with a mask on. Bitch, we know it's you. So I feel like they thought, okay, let's go out. Who would care? But I'm like, Dre, you out with some young girl with a little bralette on or whatnot. Someone is going to see that.
He saw the cameras before he went and opened her door for her to get out the car. So for me, I feel like if you didn't want anybody to see y'all together, you should have stayed your ass in that car until somebody removed the cameras. But that's not what you did. You got out and y'all, Saucy Santana walked in front of the fucking paparazzi cameras that you saw there. So for me, I just kind of feel like, nigga, pick a side. Because it's confusing to me. If you don't want the relationship public, why paparazzi don't just pop up? People have to call them to let them know where they're gonna be at. Like, come on.
Not that many paparazzi. It was so many. It was a few. I'm like one maybe. Like one, okay, maybe one just has out there. But it was like 8. It was like 8 or 9. I'm like, why are y'all there?
Somebody called. Like for sure, somebody called.
Try.
Honestly, I feel like that's why it makes me feel like he didn't care about people knowing about their relationship, but I think he's responding to April probably not liking Monique running her mouth because April probably at the house with him. She's always running her fucking mouth and da-da-da-da-da. But I just want to say, April, you's a fake phony ass bitch because I literally like watching this shit from the beginning. You be forgetting shit. But April acted like her and Monique were not friends and didn't have a relationship like that. You fast forward to rewind to the first season that April was on there when she was pregnant with her son. And who is she filming scenes with talking about, I love me some Monique because she's so honest and real and da-da-da. Like, you was out there buying dildos with Monique, and now you want to turn around and act like y'all were never friends. You and Fizz have that shit in common. Y'all fuck over somebody, and now all of a sudden, we were never friends. What? We were castmates.
Oh, man.
And now April is on a family reunion with Lil Fizz. I feel like, because we all watched Love Hip Hop family reunion that came on, was like on Monday or whatever.
Yeah.
And seeing April and Fizz talk about how we haven't been having sex in a year, it didn't work out. Fizz thought I was too good for him. And I'm like, I just don't get, and even him bringing up how he has to get things better with Monique. I'm like, so y'all on here not really working on nothing, and why y'all here? I just wonder, like, why not bring in Monique too and bring in somebody for April versus having it seem as if they trying to rekindle or, sneak around and do something. I'm like, y'all just want to check.
Yeah. I basically feel like the people that called down to the office the most during the pandemic time when shit was up in the air, they made sure we're on the show whether it made sense or not. Because every other day, Lil Fizzle Pop and April was probably, having their people call on their behalf. Hey, what's going on down here? When we going to start filming again? Like, we've been ready. So
right.
Those are the people on top of the people who we got on the show who honestly like having Trina, having Trick, having Ray J, having Scrappy and Bam, Mama D. That's the people that we want to see, in all honesty. Like, we want to see those people. Even Young Jock. Young Jock's funny. He always got some family shit with him. But everybody else is just like we wanted to make sure they was getting a check type of situation, as far as I'm concerned.
Right. I could have did without Paris, April, Fizz, and they could have brought me Lyrica, A1, and A1 Mama.
Absolutely.
And I would have been good with that.
Yeah.
They probably didn't want to do it. I think they back together, and I think they feel like it's best for their relationship if they're not on the show.
But for me, I think don't be on the regular show. But I think this is so, like, I love this version because it's so many of our favorites in one place interacting. When you have each season and you have all the dumb beef with all the cast, that part is dumb. I think A1 and Lyrica and one of their mamas, not both mamas can't come, but one mama can come, either one. I think had they been here, it would have been cool. Even if they would have been on the relationship one that's coming up next in March or whatever, that would have been cool. But I feel like them not doing this could have been a disservice to them because, again, this is a different version of Love and Hip Hop. You know, the old version of y'all fussing and arguing whatever with random cast, that's over and done with. This to me can be like, you know, okay, family reunion, road trip. You know, it can be different parts of all of them come together for some reason, even if someone gets married. You know what I'm saying? Let's have a ladies night thing or whatever. And I don't know why A1, because I would have loved to see A1 and Lyrica. I forgot all about, but you forget about them after a while.
After what happened last time with the Safari situation and all of that, I really think they're like over it, to be honest. Like that's what it feels like to me, because I know they're together. I've seen them together on social media. And I imagine that A1 makes enough money and Lyrica makes enough money. You know, they both are good at what they do, writing and all of that. So I think they probably felt like enough is enough with Love and Hip Hop, because, you know, it really put their situation through the ringer.
Too much, yeah.
You know? And they played with their shit. I mean, but honestly, I feel like Diamonds and Pearls, shout out to Roxanne, like A1 did that shit. A1 Steak Sauce did way too much. Like,
he got a bit of that fame in him, and like it's the show of it all, and he turned into A1 of Love and Hip Hop versus A1 the producer.
Right.
For sure.
For Scrappy and Jock talking about Bambi and the babies, and Scrap just wants more attention because he's a whole ass kid. And it was weird to me how he kept saying, like, I know we have kids, I know she's a mother, but I need attention. I'm looking like, how can you say that and hear that and not realize it sounds fucked up? I'm like, and I like how Jock made the most sense in saying, like, the whole time y'all been married, she was pregnant. She's just now not being pregnant and now has to be a mother and a wife. Like, you have to let her, you know, work that out. I'm like, Scrappy talk and don't listen to himself.
Like, that's why he started mumbling.
He doesn't. He's so unreasonable. He's so unreasonable. I don't understand Scrappy.
He don't understand himself.
Go ahead, Bondi.
But I think.
Oh, I was just gonna say that it annoyed me a lot to see him not understand that she, you know, has two small kids and they require her to live, and you mad because I'm not showing you special attention and all this shit. Like, nigga, go jack off and get out of my face. Like, it's a momentary situation. But I also feel like I'm wondering what it's really like, because he said before that nobody showed him the love that Bam showed him. So I'm, you know, but then we don't really see that. You know what I'm saying? So I kind of wonder if it's a cold thing that happens with the Bam sometimes. That aside, y'all, Scrappy kind of fine.
He is. I like how he talk. It's like, it's real country, but it's also real gangster, and it's also real loving, and I love it all. I love how Scrappy. I think had Scrappy not been a cheater with Erica and had they made it or whatever, he could have been good then. I think he's still growing up. He's still Scrappy from Crime Mob. I think he's still looking. He hasn't found himself yet. And I think because he was with Erica, cheating on Erica with Shay and whoever else, and with Bambi. He's always been with somebody, but cheating with other people. And so he's never really been serious at all. So when he got with Bambi and they got engaged and got married, to me, this his first time even really being faithful. So you worry about her being your wife. How are you as a husband? Right. And I'm like, why you keep making it seem as if she has to be the one to make you feel better as a husband? How do you make her feel as a wife?
Right.
You haven't really heard her complain besides saying that he wants attention. But I'm like, yeah, but like, how does he treat you?
For instance, if you trying to hunch me, how
That's
about
true.
you come here and make my life easier and then rub on shit until you can get, you know what I'm saying? Like, hello, rub feet up, legs, vagina. Like, work your way up to the top or something like that.
Right.
About this, where it's not coming from the mindset of what about me, what about me, what about me. No, make life easier for her so she will want to then be affectionate to you. But the thing that killed me about that conversation was him being like, I don't want to force it. I'm like, y'all go hard at everything else in y'all life, and it comes to your fucking family
your
and not
Mm-hmm.
force it. Like, the fuck?
Exactly.
You got 2 kids with this bitch. You need to force
I do wonder how he is as a husband and how he's really showing up for her. Like, are you even romantic? Do you really help her around the house? Are you like helping her with kids? Like, I would love to know how he is, what his dynamic is with his wife around the house. Because, like, in addition to her being a mom and being a wife, it's probably you as to why she don't want to be dealing with you or doing a whole lot with you because of you. So I would love to know. Like, I hope they kind of talk about that more, but they may not. I don't know. On the episode, like, how are you as a husband?
Yeah.
Because even once Erica got, well, Mama D, who brought Erica, which I still think was just stupid. I don't think Erica is the root of Bambi and Scrap's problem. I think Scrappy is.
Exactly.
I don't know why she brought Erica as if that's gonna fix whatever. To me, I think it'll bring up more issues because seeing how Bambi was open to talking to Erica, but Scrappy wasn't, to me, that makes me, why you want to talk to her? Why y'all can't talk? Like, that brings up more issues. Like, why you can't talk to her? If I can talk to her as your wife, you should easily go talk to your kid's mama. So to me, I'm looking like, Scrap, what did you hide? Like, what you hiding from?
Look, she didn't
right. Because that
already.
made me think, do you still got feelings for her? Like, what's it like this? It's so weird. Like, I don't understand it. Do you still have feelings? I believe it.
Always had feelings for.
I believe you do.
I think that Erica was like the one that was like, it's over. Like, if I remember correctly, because they went back and forth so many times. But when about to sell that ring and all of that shit, you know what I'm saying? They tried to make it work, but it just wasn't working. I think he was always hurt behind their relationship not working out because he really loved her. He did. He may not have treated her the best, like as far as not cheating on her, but he did love her, and he felt like he put her on. He felt like, I put you on Love and Hip Hop. I set you up. And then over time, you're fighting with me about child support. Erica had her own shit with her as well, being somebody that's bitter. Like Mama D used to say all the time, not able to show love because it wasn't shown to her. Mama D said that shit, and everybody act like Mama D was wrong. But the fact of the matter is, that's exactly what it is. Like, when you think about it, Erica mama was on drugs for most of her childhood, and Erica was like living with somebody else, and kind of like a bonus kid that was always waiting for her mama to show up. So at the end of the day, there is a disconnect there, and I felt like the relationship wasn't going to work out because of that. But they did so much shit to each other. At this point, it's just kind of like, why can't y'all just put it in in a review? You're not together. You're not going to be together. So why can't you just talk about it, discuss what the issues are, and let it go? And that only means to me that Scrappy doesn't want y'all to know that he's still hurting behind what happened between them, because then we'll think he still has feelings for her, and that'll hurt the band.
I believe that. I just
when
want them to be able to have some type of conversation. Her daughter, how old their daughter is going to be 18?
She's like 16. Yeah, she's 16 now. I'm looking like, why even keep, like, not that I think they have a lot to talk about, but I don't think this far out of your, relationship that you can't talk to her. Like, if she is, to me, it seems dumb, because I'm like, Imani will never have members of her parents just having a conversation. So it's like, think about how that affects her, the kid, and when she starts dating, how she thinks people talk. I know that her mom had the twins, but we don't even see who her mom is with. So, but to me, I'm looking like, what do she see as a healthy relationship? Like, is her mama even at home showing her how to effectively communicate with somebody else? Because, like, what is she learning? Even if she see Bambi and Scrap married and in the house together, she don't see her mama talking to her daddy. So, that has to affect her as a kid.
Right.
For sure.
I think that was awful of hip hop because nobody cared about. Yeah, I don't want Paris on. I don't know why Paris is even on the show. That to me was like weird to have. She's like the one lone wolf. I think everyone else makes sense in one way or the other. Even Carly and Sierra. Even the both mamas or whatever. But I still can't figure out why Paris is there.
Right. I just had one thing to highlight as far as the Love and Hip Hop. I just couldn't take the fact that Trick Daddy literally rolled out the bed and just put no pants on with that shirt and then wash his face, then brush his teeth. I was so impressed by that. Like, so you just gonna roll out, you ain't gonna hop in the shower, you just not gonna do none of that, and you let them catch you like this. I couldn't see they put that out, like just put that clip up there. I was like, oh my God. I couldn't take that.
When asked him if he was gonna take a shower, I was saying, "What you mean? Is he gonna does he not take showers?" I was so confused. Like she asked him that as if that was something abnormal that people. I'm like, you should wake up and take a shower, like clean. You finna. Unless you not leaving the house and you just in your house clothes, I get that. But you getting up and going somewhere out of your. I was like, that is nasty. That is very, very nasty.
That was just out.
I was so upset.
And he got the audacity to be trying to ask about April.
Ugh.
I was like, no, you're not. And he made me think of Boosie when he did it though. Cause I'm just like, y'all old motherfuckers always got so much to say about young women. You ain't even brushed your teeth, got your face together, but you over here checking out this young girl talking about she needs somebody like you. You are the last person she needs. Okay? You're the last one. I couldn't take it.
He'll learn one day or the other.
His funky ass because April gonna put that snatch on him and give him a heart attack. Nigga, you ain't healthy enough for April snatch. Okay, know this. Go sit your ass down. I wasn't talking about the women here. They old. They about to be on their way out. Talking about how they were older women there, and I'm just sitting up there like, nigga, you are decaying from the inside.
Yeah.
Who are you talking to? I was so like flabbergasted by that shit, y'all.
He died real quick. He do look casket ready. Like it's like I don't get why he looks so casket ready. It's like I don't want to talk about that man, but I'm like, I'd be like, oh, it's like why he looks so hard. He looked like burnt bacon. It's so weird to me that every season he looks more and more dead, but he alive. I just be like, I'm sorry, just let him live if he can. So that was really all we had for Love and Hip Hop. You on mute, Bonnie? Were you saying something? She's just laughing. So, basketball-wise, oh God. We know the first episode of Basketball-wise had like 530,000 views, which is down from 1 point whatever million or whatnot. This season, I'm gonna wrap up this season what I think is going to be and what I don't want to deal with. I feel like they are really trying to use Black Lives Matter and COVID to make it seem as if they different people, but none of them are different people. The fact I get if Evelyn feel like she's not a colorist and she's not racist, I get that. But if someone is telling you this is how I experience you towards me, for you to make it seem as if that person is wrong, to me means you don't care about even acknowledging how you come off to people. And seeing her on social media saying how, I've been on the show for 10 years and no one from production or the fans, can call me that. I'm like, bitch, have you not been seeing the tweets? Bitch, it's tweet after tweet after tweet of the fans saying, bitch, this been you. This been you, this been Shawnee, and even for Jen or, dumbass Kristen to bring up how they have not experienced that. I'm like, Kristen, you not even the same texture of dark-skinned girl that OG is. Y'all have two completely different facial structures, and it's like, truth be told, if Shawnee was the color of OG, they would dog her because she is only in the goodness of it all because of her light skin. If she happens to be a darker skinned girl, they'll call Shawnee ugly. Just for the fact that she has a darker skin. So I feel like for Kristen to not get that you are a prettier version of a dark complected person, and sometimes you may not get the shit that OG gets because of her features. I think OG is beautiful. I think she is gorgeous. Okay. But we also get that some people don't like all kinds of pretty. and that's why Jen's kind of pretty and Kristen's kind of pretty is acceptable to Shawnee and Evelyn. However, OG's type of pretty, they don't like that, especially because she's not taking any bullshit, and it just aggravates me that they won't even acknowledge how they made someone feel. I can say I'm not a bitch, but if I made somebody feel like them, I can acknowledge that. They won't do that shit. It's so fucking aggravating. That's all I got.
I completely agree with you. Like that's what bothers me the most. I definitely believe that they are trying to use BLM as well as COVID to try and change the narrative of how people see them. But what kills me the most is, of course, Evelyn not acknowledging, and that's what I don't understand. Like, how hard is that for you to say, I was wrong, I did not know that whatever you're experiencing it like this, whatever, and like just have a sit down conversation so it could probably be a learning moment for both of y'all. But what also bothers me is Jackie motherfucking, her and Kristen sitting up there saying that I didn't see it like that. And me being a dark-skinned woman, like, I don't know what OG is talking about. Like, the audacity. I do not like that at all. And it's like, just be quiet. Just let them have their shit, whatever it's going to be, and stop adding your piece to it. I don't like that, because then you're continuing to, I guess the term is denounce what her experience was. And I'm glad that OG said that at the very end of the episode when she said, I don't like that people are trying to act as though they didn't see what was happening, as if I didn't experience what I experienced it. And I'm like, stand in that. If that's how you feel, don't let nobody change your mind, because that's what I thought Jackie was trying to do at the table. Do you think it was really that, or was it the social media? It's like, bitch, I just told you what it was. You act like you wasn't there to see it. The audacity. I don't like that. And you should know firsthand, Jackie, based on the situation with your daughter.
Okay. So I'm going to say this. I'm honestly in a place of feeling like I don't even know if I want to continue to review it after a certain point. Like, I don't know if I will carry out an entire season of this shit. Because for me, it is infuriating to watch y'all act as if OG is in La La Land and this shit is up for discussion, and the fans were too invested, and we were just overdoing it and all of this bullshit. Why is it that y'all can never take responsibility for what you do? Shawnee, Evelyn, y'all are never made to take responsibility for what you do. And in the act of doing so, furthermore, showcasing the colorism on the show. Because you want OG to stay separate. You want to talk about her as if she's somebody to be feared when she has not done anything to anybody, especially not when you think about the way Evelyn has acted, the way Malaysia has acted. Malaysia threw a table at Jennifer, picked it up, and threw a whole fucking table at this girl. The table went into the air, okay? So it really bothers me that that's okay. That's fine. Nobody's scared of Malaysia. But OG, on the other hand, oh my God, we can't sit on the same set with her. And then when people complain about it, we're going to sit up here and act as if everybody else is tripping and we're right. And see, I'm going to get annoyed with them ignoring what we're saying, but then at the same time using what we're saying against OG. So the fans watched the show. We saw what OG saw. We understood what she said when a lot of us saw it. Okay. The reunion happens. We see it even more. You know it's happening because you're forced to make a statement. And now you come back this season and act as if it's all been bullshit this entire time. And we're pulling it out of our ass and they're using it because Black Lives Matter. Bitch, this happened before then. You can't say OG is using this as a storyline when this is the same thing that OG said last season, before Black Lives Matter and before COVID. So, well, not before Black Lives Matter, before George Floyd.
Well, yeah.
So I'm just kind of at a loss for what they are expecting, because if they think that they're going to be able to avoid OG and then we're going to review a show with them arguing and acting as if that never happened, they are sadly mistaken. Yes, I make a lot of money off of Basketball Wives, but I can make the same amount of money doing a Bondi Blue show, to be honest. So well, actually, I would have to do like 2, but that's not the point. The point is, I don't give a fuck enough to continue to make my nerves bad to watch y'all try to do this alternate reality Karen shit where y'all act like some shit didn't happen and all of that. Like, I don't have time for that.
And it was dumb because OG brought up how they're saying that I took what the fans said and made that my story. And she was like, I did this in the show. Like, before the fans saw the show, this was stuff that I was saying. So when I think Evelyn and Shawnee, whoever else was like, oh, she's saying that because the fans said that. And it's like, no, bitch, y'all recorded the show. The show was edited, produced, then put out to the world, and us not seeing or knowing what she went through, we felt the exact same thing. So it's weird that they just can't say it. Even if you did not mean to treat her that way, it's what happened. It's what happened. It's like you can't be up here saying, we need to recognize
absolutely
that Black Lives Matter, but you can't recognize how you treated a Black woman on the show. And then to have Malaysia have to talk with her kids, have Malaysia sitting with that lady who son passed away. You got, Evelyn crying about moving, all these things as if they are a victim of something. And now I'm like, I feel nothing. I felt horrible that Evelyn mom lost her husband, but I couldn't feel for Evelyn because Evelyn's an asshole. So I feel like you make it so hard for me to watch a show and feel bad that something bad happened to you because you get no fucks about how you treated OG. And then when I seen Jen and Evelyn on Twitter going at OG because saying that OG has a rented house, bitch, I rent my apartment, so what? You know what I'm saying? Like, and even that, so what if production rented her a house to shoot scenes in? Who cares about that? And for Jen to in any way be following Evelyn on social media and kind of backing her up on her angst against OG, I'm like, Jen, what kind of bitch is you? They dragged you last season. Evelyn literally ran across a table trying to attack you, and you're backing her up now. I'm like, I can't believe it.
You know what's annoying to me? To hear Evelyn blame OG for why people are threatening her. People are threatening you because you're an asshole, because you're a bitch, because you like to threaten to beat other people's asses. And then when somebody who was about that life came on the show, you bitched up and then, acted as if she was some horrible monster while chasing Cece with a bamboo stick to hit her from behind. Like, you was just mad. You didn't realize how strong that bitch was until she slung you into them bushes.
Slung you around.
Okay? So, at the end of the day, it's very upsetting to me to hear Evelyn, try to play victim and say shit like, OG has people threatening me. No, bitch, you had people threatening you. Let's be very clear about that. Stop blaming her for that, okay? Like, oh, my God. I hate them.
I really wish they would. Please stop blaming her. And then if OG would have never said anything, she didn't have to because we were already seeing this. So it was going to be the same outcome. Just like y'all gotten drugged for things before, you was going to get drugged for this same situation because we already saw it. I know I did. The moment OG walked into the door, I just already seen, they're going to try and punk her. Because she didn't look how they wanted her to look. I already knew it. But when Kristen came on the show, for her to just be like, I don't know what she's talking about. That's because you kissed ass the entire time. You came on, you were more received by the ladies than OG was.
They hazed her too, though, and she sat there and laughed that shit off. But they tried to throw her under the bus with Shawnee and everything, and she was relentless about being in a clique, and that's why they accepted her.
Because she sucked up to him.
Yep.
And OG refused. To me, OG is a tougher Evelyn because when Evelyn first came on, they did the same thing to her. When Tammy came on, they did it to Tammy. Mm-hmm. Tammy at that point tried to be their friend. She kind of upped her fashion game, her money, whatever. She changed how she looked and kind of just grew up, for lack of a better term. But even still, she always felt like the outsider too. Where OG came in, she felt like the outsider, was treated like the outsider, but she fought back from the beginning. And that's why they don't like her. They wanted her to come in, get attacked, take it. Had she not get back with them, none of them would have called her aggressive or anything like how they're treating her. Like when she brought up how 4 of them did not want to film. I wasn't surprised with that. But I like how she's like, you know what? But I'm gonna still be here because again, I'm who I am. Who I am. OG. I'm not mad that she came back this season, but I really was hoping. I don't know why. I guess I'm dumb. That someone would see the show and say, you know what OG said. We need to address this properly. But the fact that no one, not Jackie, not Kristen, like no one is saying like, oh, we see what she meant. Even if they didn't experience it, they can see how she could have felt that way. They all need to check and they feel like we have nothing else going on. This can be our storyline, us all being against OG. And I feel like it's going to backfire on their face. Like no one is watching. They're watching us, but no one's watching the actual show.
Right. Them ratings have dropped tremendously. I was like, goodness, honey. Not 500,000. Can't win when you're dirty.
It made me feel happy, I'm not gonna lie. Because I was like, there needs to be some type of retribution for this shit. And if that means y'all ratings get cut in half, if that means y'all eventually lose y'all sponsorship and the show goes away forever, I'll be happy. And I'll review it until,
right.
that happens. And so
I would until they piss me off. I mean,
people not to be so invested. So
there you go.
And they said, okay, we won't. And now she's somewhere in Houston. So we all hate that show, but we will review it until we can't anymore. Because until I feel like once they get in the house, things will be addressed, and we either gonna see it be addressed and move on from it, or if it's not, I think that's when we're like, you know, okay. Can't because y'all on some bullshit. So I'm hoping the next couple episodes will at least somebody can accept something and move on from it. But who knows? Because they are some assholes. Did y'all watch Queen Sugar?
I did.
I came on. Was it yesterday?
Yes.
Did you watch it, Jamie?
I gotta catch up. I haven't seen it yet. I gotta go back to what season is. Are they on 3 or
5?
Yeah, season 5.
Oh, Jesus, I got a long route. I got a long way to go. Okay.
I'm happy the show is back though.
Me too, because it was good. Always, like I say, it's beautifully shot, and that's what I love about it so much is how beautiful it's shot. The colors, all the things they do in post, but the things, how they frame their shots, a lot of those things I really am into. So I love the show, but I feel like, is the show going to sad us to death this year?
Yeah.
That's what I'm wondering.
I said that in my review. I said it was the part when I was gonna say Kofi, when Rod was with Darla, and he got the letter, whatever. It's like, okay, now the farm may be I'm looking like, damn it. I'm like, it's like every one step they take is like 5 steps back. And I felt like I'm like, I want to watch this show and feel joy, but also know it's hard times. And I feel like don't make everything seem like nobody can ever get ahead. And like we are just consistently, it's like the good times. They in the ghetto. They happy, but in the ghetto. They all broke. You know what I'm saying? Ain't no food. I don't want that. The way Ava directs and writes, it's amazing. But I don't need 15 episodes, an hour each of a little bit goodness and a whole bunch of mess. To where you're like, damn, Ralph Angel, damn, damn. I get tired. I'm like, oh my God, this is the emotions of it all. I do think how they shoot the scenes are amazing. Like whoever does their location picks and can think, to be there at whatever time to get the best sunset, or whatever, that's great. But I feel like, yeah, Rod and Darla got engaged, but I'm like, he may lose a farm. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I'm like, can I be happy? Like, is they going to really get together? So I be feeling like I can't ever be happy for them because something didn't happen.
Right. You can't relax because you always feel like, what's going to happen, Lord? Who going to die? Who going to get you? Who going to relapse on drugs? Like, it's all
I can't.
Like it could just be anything. And I don't have time. Like last season, I think it was season 4. Yeah, it was last season we found out that Ralph Angel wasn't really Blue Daddy.
Oh, yeah.
And we had always felt that way because we all know if Ralph Angel was the daddy, the baby would have been a little browner.
A little brown, a little dark, a little dark.
It's a little bit like my color. It probably would have been a little bit closer to my color because that little boy is a little light. It's a show. Like these are the things that we should be paying attention to because on a show like this, they're gonna be realistic enough to pay attention to those things. Just like, you know, when you think about the fact that your boy's first wife was a dark complected woman. So Ralph Angel and Nova are dark complected people. And you know, he messed with the Vietnamese lady, which is
Charlie Mama.
Because I'm from New Orleans and most of the Asian people we come into contact with are Vietnamese. So sorry. So yeah, you know, and look at her, all you know, the mix. So I just kind of feel like we should have known that shit. But I don't know how I feel about Nova this season because her, you know, I've made a whole 180 and, you know, I'm evolved and I've cut my locks off and now I'm with the white man Calvin and he's eating on my satin pillowcase. Child, I don't know how I feel about that storyline. I'm gonna tell you the truth.
I feel like Calvin is going to have some shoe that drops. I don't know if it's going to be his racist family, a pissed off ex-wife, or what it is. But I do feel like this. And I feel like a time jump happened and we don't know what it is. Because I'm like, how is everyone now kind of past being pissed at Nova? But Ralph isn't. So I'm like, it had to be some time. And like, did daughter go to rehab? Like, I feel like how long has Michael been in school? Like, Michael has had time to go to college and play the front. Like, so like I feel like the timing is off.
And they're not saying anything about it. So that's another thing. So it's just kind of like, it just makes your nerves bad. And then you know what we have to worry about for the future with them always trying to steal black people land. And if you know anything about farming and what black people have been through in the farming industry, y'all would know it is so exhausting when you find out the history of how after Reconstruction, after slavery, the only thing that black people really knew how to do was farm. So that's what we did. We farmed, we put churches, you know, in the churches, you pool everybody money and we bought property together. And that's the type of shit we was doing in order to like elevate ourselves. So white people notice this. Oh, we can't have black people out here doing well. So what they do, they start putting laws in place to make it harder for us. So they had like the 1920s stock market crash or whatever. Y'all remember that? So when that happened, they changed the agricultural laws and like made it so that you had to make a certain amount or something like that, which made it harder for black people to keep their farm. So they had to get loans. And then who's running out the loans? White people, right? So then they couldn't get the loans. So then they losing their land. And we really went from owning more land than I think we owned like a good 30% of all farmland in the country to now we own about 8%. And you know, in current time, 8% of farmland is owned by an African American or a black person versus the 35% that it might have been.
It used to be.
Right. So just to like understand also why this is so like important to Charlie is if you know the history of it, you would know.
And that's why Charlie's so pissed. That's why Charlie's so pissed with Parker, with Tegan, because I call her Tegan.
Yeah.
Because I can't call her Parker. She's Tegan. But I think, you know, her saying like, I brought you to my meal to see the destruction that your way of doing things have done. Like this without this my meal. The whole community supported this. So, like you ruined a whole bunch of stuff based on your stupidity. But I want to see them battle because when Parker came in at the end and was like, okay, the new route to the highway would be, I'm like, not the cemetery. I'm like, with the dead people. No, I was so like, no.
I get that, but I would much rather y'all dig up these people's remains and move them somewhere else than to have them destroy all of the black farms. You know,
that's true.
Highway. So for me, I know everybody's upset about, you know, disturbing, you know, dead folks' bones and shit, but they already dead. They're not really being disturbed. So just pick.
I need to put them somewhere safe though. Like I need to move them.
But it's been done before where you know, pick everybody's shit up, y'all bag it up nice and good, and you place it somewhere else. You
Not
know,
because you're gonna bag up the bones.
Listen. Bag them up, move them over. They're dead already, baby. I just kind of feel like there are way too many dead bodies, you know, for us to be out here making decisions that will harm alive people to preserve dead people. See what I'm saying?
That's true. And I think the way she said it made the people get pissed because they didn't think about it. And because you can't just out the blue say, we're going to tear down the cemetery. Like, what? With Auntie Flo?
She threw it at Charlie like Charlie knew. She was like, thank you, Charlie, for helping. And Charlie was like, bitch, I didn't know
nothing. But Charlie worked the best when she pissed. So I think it's a good thing that she be pissed. When she get pissed, like shit used to get to happen.
Oh, yeah.
I'm happy for that shit too.
When she told I will not lose. When she said that shit, I was like, I believe you, bitch. I can't wait to see how you win.
It's gonna be a good season. I think it's gonna be a good season. I hope Ava kind of, spaces it out. We not just sad the whole day because I don't want to be sad all day. I really don't want to be sad all day. It's gonna be team too much.
Me neither. I think we'll get
You said what?
I think we'll get a good balance, especially if we're looking at what the show was like last night. So even though we had some bad shit happen, we also had some good shit happen with Ralph Angel and Darla. I'm Vi and Hollywood are always a vibe, So at the end of the day, I just kind of feel like she gonna give us a balance of good and bad.
They all feel like had sex. I'm like, why y'all having sex in the restaurant? I'm like, Hollywood, go sit down somewhere. That's just nasty. Getting with the pies and stuff. It was like, what bedroom y'all going to? The music, but Hollywood and Aunt Vi's the whole vibe because they just bounce off each other. So I do like they're dynamic. It's real cute between them two. So we're gonna get on the sisters, honey, from yesterday. So I think it was a good episode. I think, Tyler Perry has to be having help now because the scenes aren't so repetitive. Like, I feel like we had a good, 6 or 7 separate scenes with the ladies that we can, it wasn't just 4 of nothing. And I'm like, I don't know. So I kind of put it in a different order than the show because it was going back and forth.
Okay.
Karen at the hair shop doing Fatima's hair, which I still feel like I just can't wait until she found out that she banging Zach. But Karen doing Fatima's hair, how she, what I do hate? I hate when they don't show people wash hair. Even though I know it's a show, but I felt like when she asked her, "Oh, is your hair washed?" I'm like, "Bitch, no, wash my hair." That made me mad.
That's why they referenced it because they know we tired of them having people come in to get their hair done and going instantly into the chair so y'all can have conversations because I guess you can't wash people's hair and talk to them at the same time. I don't fucking know. But I'm gonna say this: I'm mad that the flat iron wasn't on. I'm mad that she was flat iron. No hair at all, bitch. When she passed over
straight
and left it there, and it was just like sitting. Turn the flat iron on, please.
It was no heat, no steam.
The left side to the back side.
You saw that? She was like,
I was like, what is she doing?
And then she had to stop and be like, I know I'm not really doing nothing. People gonna notice this shit. Okay, I need to focus. And then we switch to the next scene. So it's like, yeah, I know I ain't doing shit right now. Let me focus.
She ain't doing not doing nothing with the damn hair. It made me so mad. But they were discussing how Karen is dating Aaron, who was a preacher. He doesn't want to have sex or whatever. But she keeps bringing up how he is different than her ex, who we know is Zach. And she said how Zach, didn't have any money, could not help her out with anything, versus Fatima, who was actually dating Zach, well, fucking Zach. And she feels as if Zach may not have any money, but he has vision, okay? And Karen, you can kind of tell they both have 2 different thought processes on dating someone. And even the fact that they're talking about the same man, but he's still like 2 different people to the 2 of them. What do y'all think?
Mm-hmm. I think different people bring out different stuff, and I don't know. I don't know what the hell to think.
I'll say this.
Go ahead, buddy.
I'll say this about that situation. I think that Fatima definitely is the type of person that Tyler Perry, it's a trope. Like, Tyler Perry has a whole bunch of tropes throughout his, artistry or whatever. And one of the tropes is, some man that has nothing is always, with some woman that's breaking him down. So it's always in some way the woman's fault that you ain't shit, okay? So then y'all break up because she's had enough, right? And she's moving on to a guy that has something, but we gotta wait for the other shoe to drop, because even though he looks all nice and good and clean, we know something ain't right about Aaron. We all know this, okay? So it's setting it up for it to seem like you better hold on to your tired ass nigga just in case he decides to become something. You don't want another bitch to come along and, you know, make something out of your tired ass nigga. Like, that's basically what the trope is, because he's now about to do something with himself because Fatima is pouring into him. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, Fatima is also a part of the reason why he getting caught up, because the Hayden situation, hating ass Hayden, y'all seen that. I was so upset with that scene.
Hayden, when he went to talk to her, asking her like, okay, can we go out later? And you know I'm prepared. Hayden looks like a stalker. Okay, he looked like a person who would, you know, flat your tires, or just so you can call him for a ride. It's weird how creepy he is and he don't get it. And I feel like, why doesn't anybody else know how bad he is? For him to kind of set Zach up in one way or the other, to me, was some complete bullshit. Because when we know that Zach is getting arrested, okay, and I still feel like, why he was arrested, like, why was he put over in the first place? But I'm like, I feel like we know that Hayden had something to do with that, because in the jail cell with old girl,
right,
okay, who wanted the dick from him before,
she got on my damn nerves.
She is aggravating.
Like,
you know,
high school, get over it. He apologized.
Talking about some lose my number, ma'am. He ain't been using the number. What you mean?
That's what I said. He hasn't called you yet. He hasn't called you, ma'am. But even when she brought up how the charges were different, like it's not just the whole credit card fraud thing, it was a kilo of drugs in the tire. I'm like, at what point do y'all, a car that's impounded, do y'all check the tire for drugs? Like, to me, if the car goes to the impound, how and why did anyone check a tire based on someone having a warrant for a credit card fraud? I'm like, to me, that don't even add up.
No, none of it adds up.
And Hayden tipped him off. And you asked the question, I think it was, JD. You said, how does nobody know Hayden's information? The same way Hayden went through the lengths to try and get Zach, because that's what it's looking like. He set Zach up. He went through them same lengths so that he could cover up his own tracks. And he's an attorney, so he probably has access to certain things that's going to allow him to, like, cover up his dirt. You know what I'm saying? So I definitely believe now that Hayden is the one that set him up. And he's so full of SHI. He does look like a stalker. And I cannot wait till Fatima finds out that he was the one to do this. I really want to see how she gonna handle this.
I feel like she gonna beat his ass.
I really do. I want to see them face to face.
Because Zach in jail for, like, he really in jail for no reason, like, at all. Because I that is the part that aggravates me. I can't wait for Fatima to know he in jail, and then to look into, because I think she gonna look into what Hayden did specifically. Like, I don't think she's gonna think Zach did nothing. She gonna know Hayden did something to get him in jail, and I gotta be, you know what I'm saying, crime steady, gonna get him out. Because Hayden to me is like Gary.
Girl.
You just want someone who, you just want them regardless of what them not wanting you. It just makes my skin crawl because it is nasty. Now we see Danny at home with Preston. I didn't really need this scene too much, because them just sitting there, you know, him saying he has to figure things out, and her like, no, to stay here. Like, you don't have to figure things out today. Like, you know, stay here, don't do nothing or whatever. I'm going to go to work, you know what I'm saying, and you can have a day off or whatever. And they just sitting around, you know, chatting. And I feel like I still like them as a couple, but I'm tired of the baby conversations. Like, I want them to have a serious conversation where neither one of them is asking the other one, are you sure? Like, a lot of their talk is about, are you sure? Are you sure? Are you sure? I'm like, bitch, yes.
I'm tired of them bringing up
yes.
Like,
him?
Like, why are we bringing this up constantly? Yeah, that's John Moody.
He looked like an ass licker, though. He really did.
Yeah, I don't know why.
Hey, John Moody.
And why he popped up to her house? Like, who pops up to someone's house who you haven't talked to, and y'all slept together y'all did something together one time? Like, you pop up with a portrait?
He's obviously a weirdo.
I think looking at us on the first date and then
For
leaving.
sure. I bet that picture is a picture of him and her.
Weird. That'll be so weird.
He's awkward.
He's a big ass little stalker.
His whole coming over there was weird. That I was like, I bet on the other side of that canvas is the painting of them two, because that's how delusional he is.
Well, I'm gonna just say this. Y'all know that John Moody is a real artist, right?
Oh, is he?
Yes. In real life, he's from here. He's from New Orleans, and he's an artist. And he was on Southern Charm.
On Southern Charm? Oh, that's him. I thought I saw his face somewhere. Okay, gotcha.
I wouldn't let his ass in.
Right. I was like, why would you just let him come in? But my whole thing is, I'm mad that we didn't get to see what the paint was. I was like, what the fuck?
I know. Was it nothing? Because they showed Preston look at it.
Preston saw it, yeah.
What Preston said? He said something about them panties and then he took off with his teeth.
He was like, you gotta find your panties. That's my coochie. Leave her alone. Like she bad. Nah, not me. But I do. But I like Preston. I think Preston's cool or whatever. I don't think he's like up to something else or whatnot. So I think their bond may be the only one with them and Fatima and Zach too, where there may not be, something that's going to happen to break them up or whatever. So because Sabrina and whoever is always so wishy-washy, and also Andy and Gary's all wishy-washy, I'm happy that we have two couples that can kind of work things out, because we should see someone at least attempting to date. Like, I think they all should not be in these train wrecks relationships. It's like that don't make no sense to me. But we see Sabrina, who I don't think really matters, talking with Jacoby, mainly because she was talking to Danny about how she, doesn't really like Calvin because he's not hard enough, and how she thinks she likes Jacoby and she wants to date him but doesn't want to date him. I feel like Sabrina acts very childish where she needs people to tell her what to do, but then she don't listen.
Right. Because she was on the phone with Danny. Danny says, just go out with him. He comes and asks her to go out. And she's like, no, I don't want to do that. I'm like, bitch, if you don't figure your shit out, she work on my nerves. Her and Andy. Like, they characters work on my fucking nerves. Ugh. Sorry, y'all.
Yeah, Sabrina, she kills me with her indecisiveness. I cannot take it at all. Like, girl. And watch, if she does finally take this dude out on a date, the tattoos is just giving me a bit much in the bank. And it makes me feel like he could potentially be up to something else. And she gonna wish that she would probably had stayed with Mr. What's his name? Calvin, the one that she felt like wasn't hard to, he wasn't hard enough. Now she gonna get somebody that's too hard.
Hey, it's another trope.
So but I love me some Maurice.
Maurice walked in like, what the fuck going on here? Like, trying to do it. But he told her to date him. And she how you don't listen to Maurice? He usually gives good-ish advice. And I'm like, this because it's not as if you have to be with him, but like if you want to know what's up, try it out. Like let's taste it and see if you do or don't like it. If I think the whole I don't know, I'm gonna talk to him, but not talk. I was like, bitch, please just do something. Because I'm tired of the whole back and forth. Because I'm like,
that's what kills me about her indecisiveness, and maybe I'm wrong. I just feel like I don't understand the motive behind why you so unsure all the damn time. I don't have enough of a backstory about you to know why are you so hesitant on every damn thing. Like Danny, we know she makes poor choices when it comes to Gary because they talk about her in college and how things were for her in college. She always had that low self-esteem. But with Sabrina, I just feel like I don't know enough for you to be so indecisive, girl. Yeah, I don't get that.
I think it's a part of
she's gorgeous, and them edges was on fleek. I gotta get her that.
Always, Novi is off the chain. Okay, that's
in real life,
right? In real life, okay. But her character, Jesus, has absolutely no discernment whatsoever, and I don't know any black woman that's in that much touch with her blackness. I just don't know any woman that has the makeup of Sabrina with that much indecisiveness about their shit. And that's why I think it's bothersome to us because we don't know anybody like that. We don't know any black women that are like that.
I don't, and I don't want to at all.
Get away from me.
So Andy and Gary and just the whole back and forth of it all, we see him stalking her still. He didn't show up to her job telling her that he is going to leave. He's going to move to Boston because he needs a whole new start. And that he really hoped that she would ask him to stay. Now she's like, no, fuck you, go away, we over. Even though I feel like she still wants to be with him. And it's the whole back and forth over, please beg me to stay. And I don't want you to. To me, it was a pointless back and forth because she doesn't want to give in and be with him, but she wants to be with him. And he feel like, I know I tried to kill you, strangle you, but you still want me. And this the whole back and forth of it all. I was so happy when Fatima showed up and said, okay, let's go to the office, girl, let's go. I feel like Andy wants to be with somebody who will treat her like shit because it makes her feel better. And I don't know why. Because why I still love him. He was married. He was cheating on his wife. He is abusive. He got all your stuff taken. Like, I don't get why all these episodes later, she still wants him as if they had more good memories than bad.
Right. Like, all your shit was gone. All your shit. Like, your money, your savings. Like, nigga took everything.
Bitch, you lost your job.
Because of him. Your job, everything. Like, I don't understand it either. And I feel like she's an abuse victim just, in perpetuity. Like, I'm just going to keep being a victim. I'm just going to keep being a victim over and over and over again. I'm never going to really learn the lesson. And that's why I need my girlfriends, because they hold me down. It's just like, I hate you, Andy. I'm sorry, bitch. I hate you.
Yeah, I can't stand her ass. I can't stand Gary even more. And I just knew she was going to get ready to head out with Gary to Boston. And if you said, leave nigga go, I said, Gary ain't going to no damn Boston. He just came to say that to her.
What did Gary want to tell Karen, y'all? What was that?
Just the fact that he went to Karen to say, talk to Andy to stay with me. I'm like, do you not know who can you could have went to Danny and said that. Maybe even Sabrina, not Karen, because Karen don't like you. Karen would be like, no, I hate you try to kill my friend. Don't do that. But the fact that he thought he can go to Andy and convince her to be with him. And if I can't have Andy do it, then let me go to Karen. I'm like, that was the dumbest shit. And when him and Karen was talking, and the fact that he was like really trying to reason with her, like, I love her. Can you just talk to her? I'm like, no. And she was like, no. She need to get a damn PPO against you because you was crazy. Don't come here. Don't come there. And I'm like, what? To me, that makes him seem even more crazy because you have done all these things, but you want her friend to still have her be with you. Like, what sense does any of that make?
At all.
Exactly.
Girl,
now Mama Paris.
Then he gonna say, I can't get over him. I can't get over him saying he leaving. I can't get over him saying he leaving for Boston, but then you, instead of going to catch a flight, you went to have a whole conversation with this lady. So basically, you over here playing with Andy. Like, this is the last time, Andy. I'm going for real. Like, go. Get the fuck on. And she's still standing up there with that dumbass gaze in her eyes. I was so glad when I saw Fatima car. I said, Fatima, hurry up, girl. Please hurry up and get out this car and get this lady. Because this too much. But I loved how Karen was talking to him, though. I loved how Karen was talking to him. Loved it.
She not for the bullshit. She like, I don't care. Because Karen don't like him at all. I think Sabrina and Danny tolerate stuff, and Danny don't care, and Sabrina's just like a passover, whatever. But Karen is like, no, if I don't like you, I'm gonna show it in my body and my emotions. Like, you're gonna see my disdain for you. That is the good part of her acting, to where she doesn't say anything, but she looked like she's reading you down just by looking at you. And that whole scene was like, what the fuck do you want? Like, why are you here? I will kill you.
That's how she.
That's Karen's face.
Ebony, a bad actress. She's a bad actress.
Mama Paris.
Ebony, the girl that plays Karen.
Yeah.
I think she's really good.
Oh, okay. I thought you were saying she was bad. I was like, I thought she was good.
No. Great. I love her acting. Like, she did that.
Oh, I love her. Like, JayLee, you made me watch that shit. That show that came on, and it was like the second season.
Beale Street?
No.
A TV show?
Yeah, a TV show about friends. And on the second season, it was like somebody that died, got killed by the cops, and they was trying to like get that situated. But the first season, they were all in New York, and Ebony Obsidian was on that first season. It's on Amazon Prime. I can't remember the name, but I feel like Jay Lee was watching it on like
I
WeTV
probably was.
or one
I'm
of them.
gonna go watch it now.
It's a
I
group
have
of
to figure out what it is.
damn. It
I'm
was
on
like a
IMDb. I see Wu-Tang. I see Master of None.
no. Hold up.
If Bill Street Could Talk.
Let me go to my shit, and I'm because it's a show.
Was
It
it
was like
Tough Love? Tough Love?
yes, that
Tough
might have
Love.
been.
Not watch that.
Okay.
It was like
Let me
you was
check
watching
that out.
Tough of LA or some
I
shit.
probably. Oh, okay, yeah.
And that's why I was saying like that was the second season. But the first season was with Ebony and them, and it was in Tough Love season 1. It was in New York. That was good.
He picks good.
Tyler
Perry has great people in his product in his shows. The writing just be shitty, and they do the best with what they given. Because when I see Mama Paris telling Andy how you have baby syndrome to where you are holding on to this goodness as if you did not go through all this turmoil, you know what I'm saying? And you have to know that you can love somebody but not hold on to them. Like, you don't have to stop loving him to not be with him. And I think that's Andy's issue to where she feels as if I can't stop loving him, can I not be with him? It's like, no, bitch, love him from afar. Like, love him from over here and leave him be. And she don't get that. And I think that's why he gonna kill him one day. And when he do, I go to a funeral. But we do see, I think that was really it for the show. Because Zach is still in jail. He up there crying. She didn't call him yet. And we have to wait till next time to see, see him being in jail.
Right.
So, Married at First Sight. So, the time is 1 hour and 11 minutes. Somebody put that in the time stamp. Because let me put it on my little notes. So I can remember to put it in there too. So, last night's episode of Married at First Sight, I feel like, can it get any worse than what has already happened? Because I really feel like Chris had every reason to be kind of pissed in the end. We're gonna start from the beginning. So I broke it up because we know that they had like 2 group sessions. It was like a little bit of them together. I hate when they do. I need it to be couple by couple. That's just the easiest way to do things. So even with the group sync, I still put it by couple. So first up, we can discuss Clara. Who is they at? Clara and Ryan. I still don't like Clara because I feel like she don't really want to be a wife for some reason. I think she just wants to be with somebody and be in love, but I don't know if it's really a wife, or maybe it's because it's Ryan. So I don't think they gave much this episode, but she brings up how they are great. He's a perfect guy. She would have not picked a better person for her, but her only issue is that he had never said, I love you. We do find out that they had sex. Okay. Ryan said that he would not discuss their sex life, but Clara then said, we banged it on out. He brings up how things are fine, but he is more preserved than her, that she consistently speaks her mind more than him about whatever she thinks, meaning she talks too damn much. And later on in the episode, when they are back in their room, he do tell her, like, at times, I need you to learn to keep your mouth shut and just not say whatever comes to your mind, mainly because of what happens later with Chris. They could make it, in my opinion, if they both change. But I don't know what y'all think of this couple.
I feel like they can make it because they have a lot in common. They really like each other. But the problem is that he is so controlling and she wants to be free as a fucking bird. I feel that. Even though I feel like she changes herself for him, her feeling like she always is the one that loves and he's the one that's never loved somebody, that shit worries. That shit worries me with their dynamic, but he's already married to her, so that should make it easier for him to be in love with her if that's what he feels. But this episode was the first time I thought that maybe they wouldn't make it because of how different they are, because he's very controlling. I feel like we're not really tapping on it, but the way he talks to her, that little conversation they had where he was like, you know, you need to learn how to keep your mouth shut and all of that. I was like, Clara didn't even really say anything. It was Virginia that was doing most of the running.
Fact.
And it was, and he checked her real sharp, like it was real like quick. And he was like, "Wait a minute, did he just check her like that?" Yeah,
exactly. So to me,
Yes.
did that, and then think about the regimen and how much you work out, and you know, you trying to separate yourself from your blackness, because that's how I feel about you perming your hair and some of the other things that you do. Like all of that brings unresolved aggression and issue to me. So yeah, we'll see.
I think, yeah, I don't see them making it strongly. I didn't really get the controlling yet with him, but I will say that I feel like they just completely different. So for her to sit down there with those girls and have that conversation and say, "Oh, I wouldn't have picked a better person and we connect so well," and this and that. I'm sitting up here looking at the screen like, "Girl, why is you up here lying? Y'all couldn't even agree on religion and all this other stuff, and now you want to sit up here talking about he's such a perfect person." No, ma'am. That's not what that is. You're a person that loves to deep dive into love. You're a hopeless romantic, and he's not like that. That's problem number one. I think she probably thought, oh, now that I'm married, it's gonna be easy for us to just be in love and stuff. And he's letting you know, like, just because we're married, that's not what that is. He also pinpointed when he was with the guys that, you know, yeah, she just says whatever she wants to, you know, and I don't really check her on it. So what he said to her at the end really ain't have SHI to do with Chris. He did, that was some passive aggressive shit to me. He was saying that to her. That's how he really felt. He was really telling her, you need to watch what you say because I don't like it. But he tried to use the Chris situation as an excuse as to why she should just not say whatever it is she wants to say out her mouth. And she just kind of like put her head down, and it was like, ma'am, you need to speak up and say, but what did I say? Because I wasn't saying shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? So she wants to be in love so bad. I can see the right, correct. And that's what I wish she would have like opened up and said something. But I can see her being more submissive than he is, probably more controlling. She's just gonna like, if he just says whatever, she probably gonna go along with it because she wants to be in that marriage or be in love in that marriage. Like that's what she wanted. So I don't know. We'll see. The bird's out on how they gonna.
I think because it's the honeymoon always is the weird phase to where you like they could or couldn't make it, but everybody's in this nice, you know, vacation-y mood, so you don't really know how it's going to be till they get back to the real world. Because I think even in the preview for the upcoming season, we see each couple is a bit different than how they were on the honeymoon episode. But I do feel like the differences they have, one of them is going to make more of an issue of it, and that will cause the marriage to fail. I just don't know which person is going to be one to make stuff a big ass issue. For next, Brianna and Vincent. They were together. He brings up how they are doing great, but he does recognize that she's a bit bossy. She brings up how she knows she's bossy, and she can see areas where he needs direction, so she needs to be bossy. Now, later on, when they're at the hotel room, Vincent brings up how, again, he still knows in her she's being bossy because in the bathroom, she's kind of like giving him orders on do this, do that, do this, do that, and not really letting him do what he wants to do as if he's moving too slow for her. So in the bed, she tells him that she does realize that he doesn't pay attention. And so because she feel like he doesn't pay attention, that she has to get his attention in one way or the other. And that today he did get on her nerves. And I'm like, oh, okay. So he says at times that he is impatient, that he takes his time. He does not like to be rushed. So she needs to be more patient with him because he is who he is and he's not changing. Now the following day, when they have a little talk without the cameras, he brings up how he told her that he was upset that she was so assertive with him, and how he felt that it was being a bit disrespectful by how she talked to him. And she brings up how when he told her that, she took it as him saying that she was being rude. So that made her upset. But she do say that she needs to work on her being so bossy, and that they were happy that they both told the other how they felt, so that way they did not have a big old blow up. I do think they can make it as a couple, but I also feel like both of them are holding back their either not anger, but their emotions on if something is aggravating or not. And I think that can be the downfall of their marriage if they don't address the elephant in the room, which could be just them being aggravated with one another. But I hope they make it. But something tells me when they get into it, it could be a big blow up because they kind of like holding back from each other.
I agree with that. And I am nervous about being a big blow up because of the way Vincent comes off. But I also want to say, even though you can say she's bossy, I don't feel like she's being rude. I don't feel like she is. It didn't even really seem like she was doing the most. It was just kind of like, pick that up for me. Like, nigga, you gonna leave it on the floor? Like, to me, I see it more so on her side because I know what it's like to be with a man where it's like, hey, Puffy, your brain is moving a little bit faster than his, okay? And most times. Usually those are good things because they'll slow you down and you'll speed them up. But it has to be allowed for. Like, it can't be like this huge defensive reaction when one person is being a little too slow or the other person is being a little bit too impatient. But I think it's something that they can figure out, to be honest. But I do see it causing issues down the line. I'm not even going to lie. On an everyday basis, I feel like if he's already aggravated just because she told him to pick the soap up and asked if he flossed, like... Yeah, something makes me feel like it'll probably annoy him more than it should.
Yeah, I want them to make it. I would think they can make it because of how they're having conversations now. It may not be something they want to have right at the moment. It may take an hour or so, and then they're able to have a conversation because being able to communicate that is going to be important. But I do feel like he's going to blow up on her. When he say, I don't want to blow up on you, but to me, when he said it sounded like, girl, he's going to blow up on you in a matter of time. Now, as far as her bossiness and her quote unquote assertiveness towards him, I think he's just trying to really get adjusted. And when she makes her notes of do this, do that, it's not just like one thing like, hey, babe, do this. And then she going about her business. Hey, do this. No, it's like, hey, can you do that? No, do this, do this. You know, like she's like, can you grab the soap? Okay, nah, don't give me that. Can you give me this? Nah, can you do this over here? And I think that kind of like frustrates his brain because she's taking him too fast because he's a person that likes to just move at his own pace. And now he's seeing it's not just him anymore. You have this wife and she's like, we got to move like this. So I think they just have to learn each other's patterns and their rhythms and stuff. But I do believe before they really get to that point, there will be a blow up. But the good thing is that they're able to bring, quiet the storm and, sort everything out for the most part.
I just don't want to see it happen because I feel like I can see in him a bubbling up and I can see in her she could also probably bubble up. And I just wonder if they can both, in an argument, realize one of them has to be calm. Because I think when her saying that she felt upset that he told her how he felt, to me that felt like, okay, both of y'all can't be upset because the other one's upset. Because in a fight, who's going to be the calm one?
Right.
And I'm like, I'm looking like, ooh, like if they fuss, it could be bad because neither one of them is trying to understand how the other one felt. Is not even an attack on them. Like him telling her, like, I just felt like he was bossing me around too much. I wish she wouldn't have gotten upset at him being honest with her because it could have been him not saying shit and just holding it all in and like, whatever, and then blowing up. Right. I think it's a good thing that I wish she would have realized he waited till the cameras was off and then was honest with her so they can have a talk.
True.
And that's the part I'm like,
I appreciate the talk, but now I'm starting to think now, one thing he said, y'all let me know y'all thoughts about this. I'm trying to understand. He said your assertiveness came off as disrespectful. And I'm kind of like a little bit, I'm like, how? How was she being disrespectful? So it's like, did we not see something?
That's what I was saying about how I didn't see her tone. Like I said, it shouldn't have been, bothering him that much because like you said, he said disrespectful, and nothing about how she is with him is disrespectful. It may be annoying, but I don't think you can say it's disrespectful. Right. So that's why I'm like,
She's gonna have to fix it. But I do think they have the means to make it because they both are honest with each other. Because even her telling him, "I'm mad now," because now I'm like she could have held it in too and like snaps. I think they have the the goodness to make it as long as they keep talking things out and no one blows up. But I think he's gonna blow up first.
Exactly.
I think it's gonna be him first.
He is. They got to be considerate of each other's feelings too. And like I think Bondi said it, to understand that when I'm expressing myself, it's not an attack on you. You know, I'm just expressing myself so that we can figure out a better way to do this, because what we doing now ain't working
at all.
Yeah.
Jacob and Haley, the weird couple who I still don't get why they were matched. Just
off this episode.
Because she was like
for Jacob just a little bit.
Because it's weird. So he brings up how, she has so many close friends that he don't know how he can manage dealing with her friends and his friends. He says that. He also brings up how they had sex. Well, no, she said they had sex. He didn't. She said that. She brings up how it's hard to be with somebody all day because she's so used to being on her own. She's been single for 7 years. She's having all these reasons as to why she's uncomfortable being a wife, even though she came on a show to get married. So I'm like, that doesn't make any sense. So later on at their room, he brings up how he's still trying to figure out or feel her out because she isn't reciprocating any feelings to him. Should I hold your hand? Can we kiss? What should we do? What should we do? And, he brings up, ever since we had sex, you have not been like the same, whatever. It was probably bad sex. She brings up how she's working on it or whatever, and she needs time, and that she does not feel they're on a deeper level just yet. And she says, you can't expect me to just change and be this clingy, person within 5 days of knowing you. And he feel like, well, if you can't, express yourself to how you feel with me, like, how can we make it? He then brings up later on that she told him that she was having a girls' night. And it was just the girls. But he then went downstairs to find out it was all the couples except him because she did not want him there. And so he is pissed at her now for lying to him.
Shady bitch.
She's a piece of shit. It's so funny. It's so funny. Like he's in here, but she's a piece of shit. Mainly because you came on a show called Married at First Sight, meaning you were going to be married to someone who you would have to be around all the time, unless y'all at work. So to make it seem as if he's the weird one out because he wants to be around you or he wants to be like your husband, it aggravates me because you also fuck that man. And then after the fact, you kind of push him away as in, ew, I don't want you. Like, talk to him. And I don't like her now.
I don't like her at all.
I don't like her.
When I tell you, when he said they ran from me when they saw me downstairs, I got so fucking mad because this whole episode, I feel like he's been like, hey, let me know something. We had sex. Like, I don't know how you're feeling. Like, he's telling you that it's bothering him and it's starting to hurt his feelings, that he doesn't know what you feel. And then when he expresses that, you just kind of ignore him and say, yeah, I need to work on that. Bitch, that's not an answer. Answer the question. She never did. So now we get to this point, and all of y'all showed up to hang out and left him at the room. Like that
was so fucked up.
Made me so mad because I was like, he don't deserve that. He might be a little weird, but I think he's sweet and I think he's trying. And I think that he deserves better than Haley's old fucked up ass. And I almost feel like her family tried to warn him on the slick about how she is. She's all out for self. It's all about her and how she feeling. Because to me, she totally disregarded him as a human being. Like, don't even give a fuck about his feelings whatsoever, that you would have everybody meet up without him. Like, that shit just blew me, y'all. And then like when they were packing up, like, she had an attitude with him. And I was just like, bitch,
you did it.
Oh, fugly looking ass bitch. I'm sorry, but she made me upset when she did that because I just felt like that was unnecessarily mean. It seemed cruel to me. Go ahead, y'all. I'm sorry.
I agree. I think Haley is full of SHI, and I hate that she continues to beat around the bush about how she truly feels. Like, I don't understand that. Like, she is a fucking weirdo. I thought he was weird No, Haley is a fucking weirdo, and he needs to leave her ass where she at. I really hope when he gets to Atlanta, I know he's gonna continue to try, but I really wish he would stop. Because when he stops trying to be up on her and come to her and all that, that's when she's going to want to be all up under him. So I really wish he would just leave her ass where she at. If that's how she acting, give her exactly what it is that she wants. Give her motherfucking space. And when she gonna see you moving on about your life, she gonna be trying to run back over there. But she just full of shit. I really want her to just be honest and say that she's not 100% attracted to him for real. Just keep it a book. Stop talking in circles and free this man. And if she don't free him, I really want him to free himself. I don't really have too much for them
acting like
I feel bad for them.
Because he's not the kind of husband who's like extra aggressive or wants a lot of PDA. He was trying to figure out, how do you want me to move in this marriage? Like, the fact that he would do it on her terms, to me, would make me be more receptive to him, because he's not saying like we have to do this or that, but he's asking you, how do you want to proceed so that we can get in a better space? And she's like, I need time. It's time to do what? Y'all are married now, okay? Y'all have been married for what, 4 or 5 days? So, not saying that she has to like be in love by them, but like, if you can't tell him how to act with you, leave him. Because you're not even trying to be in this. And I think that's what aggravates me with some of the cast, where they come on a show and then just don't want to participate. They want to just be there and say, I don't know what to do. Have you not watched Nan's season before to know you have to date this person that's married, you're married to? But like, you can't just not say shit, not do shit, and then expect them to be okay with you not giving them shit. It made me so mad. And I think we seen a little preview for him when they get to the house, and he was kind of going off on her, like it's just her bullshit. I'm like, yes, please be that way. She can't feel as if you're so nice that you will accept her bullshit. And I hope that he be like the little joy that we can get from the rest of the season. Because I'm like, fuck her.
For real, fuck her.
We then have Eric and Virginia, who I really feel like it's just...
What's the whole episode?
So we see... Eric was clearly drunk. Eric was at a point where he looked like he was gonna pass out. I don't think it was just, I think they may have took some edibles, some weed or something, because that wasn't a typical thing. You think what, Mondi?
I think the men did for sure, because I think Vincent was high as well at one point. Y'all know I be noticing these things.
Yeah, because I'm like, he was talking like someone who was very high, but at work, and you're trying to act normal. And I'm like, that's not just liquor, bro. And, he brings up how, she drinks a lot. And because she drinks a lot, I have been drinking with her. And that's not really me, okay? Now, they have not had sex yet. I don't know if I fully believe that.
Completely blown away by that.
Yeah, I don't. They too drunk to have not had sex by now. But she brings up how, because he acting like they're fine, we're good, or whatever. She then says, well, we have issues because we have the differences or whatever. And she brings up how he does not think that men and women can be friends. We do see like a little flashback scene of her crying to Clara about it, which lets me know her and Clara be on the same bullshit, crying, talking or whatever, they kind of friends. But that's later on. Back in the room, we see alcohol bottles everywhere, like just sitting around, just drunk. He brings up to her, like, I cannot do this anymore, or whatever. And she tells him, my friends, we go out every Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, and I want you to do that too. He's a pilot. He says, I can't do that. I will lose my job or whatever. She wants him to be okay with her getting drunk every weekend. Okay. And he feels as if, well, that's fine, but I don't need you to be out here, cheating on me or doing whatever that I don't agree with. And she feels as if she does not want him to control her, because that would not be a good thing, because she's a drinker who will always want to have a good time. I don't know why they were matched.
I don't either.
At all. The age difference, the different lifestyles does not make any sense. She does not want to be a wife. He really wants a particular woman who wants to be a stay-at-home wife, not go out and party.
Yep.
She is this had to be a production pick just to piss people off.
I'm actually nervous for her liver. I'm nervous. I'm scared. I'm scared for the liver. I think she's gonna do damage to it, to be honest. Here's my thing. There's something about Virginia that makes me feel like she needs to go to therapy and deal with whatever the fuck her issues are, because the alcohol is excessive, and I'm somebody that loves to get fucked up. And to be honest, y'all are on, a honeymoon, so y'all really should be fucked up most of the time. Like when I was on my honeymoon, I was, but there is something about it that makes me feel like it's from a dark place, and I think there's a difference. Eric, to me, saying that he can't do it, fine, you can't do it. She needs to understand when he says I can't, that doesn't mean he can't come out with y'all, but don't get mad when he doesn't drink the way you drink. You know what I'm saying? Because she seems like the type that'll be like, oh, you're a party pooper, just because she's shitty drunk and you not. You know what I'm saying? And listen, I don't trust people with no vices, but he's been drinking. So it's not like he's not going to ever have a beer or something like that. But she is just taking it to a level that makes me feel like once they get into the house together, that shit is going to be a problem. And I don't think there's any amount of talking about it at this point that's going to fix that, because y'all just put two people that have different lifestyles in the same marriage. So, yeah, I don't know how it's going to work out.
I don't see it working out either. I mean, Virginia going to do whatever she want to do. That's the short answer. Yeah. So I really don't see it working out. I think she mentioned that she had like issues as a kid because her parents got a divorce or something like that. So it's probably her issues of needing therapy probably goes that far back, which is why she's probably a drinker and stuff. But I don't really have no words for Virginia. I don't really like Virginia. I don't really like her character on this show. I don't really like how she is. She's a drunk kid. She's young. They shouldn't be a match. I mean, what else can we really say about them? She's full of shit. I mean, I don't know what else to say about him. Now, I will say this. Maybe she won't cheat on him while she's out drinking, because hell, she been doing all this drinking. Allegedly, she ain't been smashing her own husband. So maybe she just go out there and drink and she ain't gonna cheat, because that's just what she do. I think she's not gonna be able to deal with him controlling her, because when she goes out, like he gonna make that an issue. He's already making it an issue that she can't have guy friends. So he's going to make that an issue, so much so that it's going to be so uncomfortable for her that she's going to stop doing what she enjoys, or she just going to end up leaving. But she's a basket case.
I'm going to tell y'all that I definitely felt like they were both low-key Karen and Kevin in the shit out of Chris. Because I think that we all know that Chris is an asshole. But even Clara was like, why are you poking the bear? It's obvious he's on. And at first, y'all being drunk and high, we kind of let that slide the first time. And in all honesty, him being mad that she asked if the kid was really his, that was almost like a knee-jerk reaction to you telling us that you have a baby with a bitch you're married to. Is it really yours? Like, that's a knee-jerk reaction.
Right.
So I got upset about that. That was bullshit to me. But the way her and Clara went at him, it was more so her than Clara, because at one point Clara just completely stopped talking and wasn't even a part of the conversation anymore. She was just saying the thing that tipped it over for me was when they were both like they would have left. He can't take that. He is I'm sorry, but he's bitch made. He's sensitive. So as much as he can tell Paige that he's not attracted to her and all of this other shit, like, he can't take the fact that y'all don't like him now because of what he's done to Paige. That is so bothersome to him that they are supportive of her, but not supportive of him. And it blew me because he told Virginia that him going above and beyond for Paige was him telling her the truth about the baby. I was just like...
It was, So let's get on Chris and Paige.
I wanted to touch on that because what the fuck? Was definitely doing like a Karen type of thing. And when Eric came over, and even though I think Eric was really trying to calm the situation down, I'm sorry, white people, but y'all have a tendency when black people are upset to try to crowd our personal space. And I've experienced that before. And y'all think y'all are, just calm down. No, don't fucking touch me. I'm upset. get out of my bubble. Don't
The
come in
worst
my
thing you
bubble
can
when
say.
I'm upset. So for me, there was a moment there where I totally understood where Chris's angst was coming from, but I still felt like he acted like an insolent, bratty fucking child. And that whole situation could have been handled way better. But yes, Jay Lee, please go ahead and intro us into this stupid ass stuff.
I think we all watch the show simply for Chris and Paige because it's a train wreck that you don't know who, what. It's like who driving the train. It can be either one of them. So, when they were all together, Paige is still bringing up how her and Chris are going to work things out. That's the gist of what Paige says just about all this episode. She just says, we're okay. It's going to be fine. We're working through it or whatever. So again, the ladies are supporting Paige like we support you, blah, 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 blah. Clear again, you better than me because I wouldn't stay. We know that Claire leave it alone. So Chris was with the guys or whatever. He brings up how Paige is number one in his life, and she comes before his situation, the whole kid. Now, Eric at that point in time is drunk, and he is telling Chris how, you need to man up because Paige is here for you. And Chris feels as if Eric is being disrespectful for telling him to man up because, as he said about his old job, he manned up when he told Paige, he was forced to tell Paige by production that he had a whole baby on the way. Now, back in that room, Chris tells Paige how, she is doing so well handling his bullshit with grace. Yes, he is commending her for handling his bullshit graciously and not just punch him and throw a leave in him. And Paige tells him how she's anticipating getting back to Atlanta because that's when things get real. And when she meets her dog and asked him about if he was willing to like walk her dog in the mornings, this fool said, you take care of the dog and I will play with it because I don't want the dog around or whatever. And her thing is like, I am agreeing to be a co-parent to a fucking new baby and you can't walk my fucking dog. Chris is a piece of shit. He then brings up how he wants separate bank accounts, okay? He does not believe in joint bank accounts and that if she needs something, he'll give it to her, but they can't have joint accounts, okay? I'm like, bitch, what? He also brings up how when she says she's gotten gifts away from friends and family for the wedding, he wants to split it 50-50. She said, bitch, we are married. There is no splitting shit in the union. And I'm like, it's just bullshit. Paige brings up how it's alarming that sometimes he's selfish. That's just part one. What do y'all think?
Well, he is selfish. He's terrible. And the fact that all he had to say was that he found he found himself being spiritually attracted to you. When the nigga said that he found himself being spiritually attracted to her, and that was why she now feels better about this fucked up shit show of a situation. Baby, thank you for the super chat. I know, but I still thought I should say thank you because sometimes
thank you.
You know what I'm saying? Okay. Thank you via JLee through me, bitch. Anyway, thank you for that. We appreciate it. Y'all, it really annoyed me that she was so quick to recover after everything that happened this episode. He acted a fucking fool on that bus. And in all honesty, he needs to be glad that Eric is a different type of dude because if Eric was some of the men I know, white or black, you'd have got your ass body slammed that day with the way you was like going after her on the back of that fucking bus. Like my husband, there's no way that somebody would have been talking to me like that, even the way I am. There's nobody that would have been talking to me like that. And then like just going off like that. And it was just, we just gonna sit there. It would have never went down like that. Chris would have got the motherfucking argument of his life in that bus. So he is lucky that Virginia and Eric aren't the type of couple that we are. Because had you came at me like that, okay, had you, because production asked me to ask you about this shit, because we all know a lot of the times people would have mind their business if production had not been like, ask these questions, okay? So, first the fuck off, I probably would have argued that fool down. And once he called me a drunk, like he called Virginia, I'd have been like, and you're a dog ass dude that got a bitch pregnant and probably was still fucking with her before you came on this show knowing you were gonna marry somebody. You're a dog ass dude. You ain't shit, money. And you probably broke,
sure.
probably perpetrating, and your dick probably little too. Okay? Child, I went in on it.
Well, the thing with Chris, because it was
Well, I just agree with everything Bonnie said.
The whole ATV thing, you know, the three couples with ATV, and it was Paige, Chris, Virginia, Eric, Clara, and Ryan. And Clara and Virginia decided to go talk to Chris, bringing up how much he needs to appreciate Paige for this staying with him or whatever, and how Paige is not very much closed off since she's got married to Chris. Chris was like, to me, Chris wasn't being rude, but Chris was being honest enough to say, you know, y'all have this fake concern, and none of y'all know what I'm going through personally or what she going through. Like, y'all don't know what we feel right now. And Virginia brings up that she's not concerned with him. She's concerned with Paige. Okay. And then she, you know, feels as if you are not going above and beyond for her. And Claire then asked, like, what's the plan on how you and her will handle the marriage? And he felt like, you know, I don't owe y'all no explanation. You know, that's between me and Paige, and you have no idea what we doing. Man, you'll be at this bitch right now. And the weird part was I kept wondering, where is Eric and Ryan? It was weird that it was just Chris and the two ladies, and we did not really see even Paige involved in this conversation. I feel like in this moment, both Clara and Virginia was two white women who felt entitled enough to go and talk to this black man about how they felt he treated his wife. And the reason I call bullshit, because if Paige not up here causing a fuss about what he doing, you should not either. And my thing is, Virginia and Clara have to realize they are not paid as friends. Y'all, she has known y'all for 5 days, technically. Y'all just met within these past 2 weeks. You don't know her well enough to go at her husband. I feel like Clara and Virginia had no reason or no right to confront Chris on what he was going through with Paige. You should not get in no one else's marriage, and that's my opinion. I also feel it's like when Eric did walk up, and I don't even know why Eric didn't say shit in the scene. You waited till later on to do the whole thing or whatnot, but you know, to kind of go at him saying, "Oh, well, you need to kind of calm down, and you know, we care about your marriage." He, well, I do too, but I stay out of y'all shit. And when Virginia called him arrogant, he called her drunker. And then the whole back and forth thing, I felt like y'all should have never even went to him about it. Like, it was no reason for it. Y'all should have went and talked to Paige. If Paige did not say, go talk to him, shut the fuck up.
I agree with that. I feel like that. I was glad he was giving their ass the business, to be honest, because I felt like, why, for what y'all want to know for? Y'all need to be focused on the person y'all just met 2 minutes ago. Why y'all over here talking about me and worry about what's going on with my business? And if you so concerned about Paige, how dare you ask me questions and then say you don't care about me and that you care about Paige? Then go have a conversation with Paige. Because here's the thing, in my opinion, like you said, they're not friends. I've only known y'all for 1.2 seconds, and the fact that, oh, I hate when I lose my train of thought. But I'm gonna let y'all go. Ty, get my train of thought back. Sorry, y'all.
Back. Even though, like I said, I agree with y'all. I feel like they definitely carried the situation a little bit. Especially Virginia, because you out of pocket coming at him about his situation. But at the same time, I always go back to the fact that we're on a reality show, and there's no way that you were going to be able to come on this fucking reality show with a baby and then nobody was going to bring that shit up to you outside the page. There's no way that was going to happen. And a part of this show is y'all coming on with other couples and discussing the issues in your marriages. That's also a part of the show. So it'd be different if this was your personal life and it wasn't on the show. But you signed up to discuss your marriage. You signed up. That's why I get aggravated even when they don't want to talk about, like, if y'all fucking or not. Why did y'all come on the show if y'all don't want to talk about what's going on in the relationship. That's the whole point, bitch. If you wanted to do this in private, then you could have did this in private. But you signed up to do this on a reality show and then waited through the process of months and months in order to get on the television show. And now it's like, oh, I want to handle this in private. Like, get the fuck out of here. I think that's bullshit at the end of the day. Oh, it respect my privacy. The only reason you feel like that is because there are women talking to you about that shit. Because when he was talking to the men and they were asking questions, it wasn't a big issue. Even didn't even go at Eric with that same fever that he went at Virginia with. And that's why I didn't like it, because I feel like it's bitch made for you to have all this aggression towards women when they talk to you about this shit. But you really didn't have that same aggression for Eric. And then at the table at the end of the episode, when Eric sat down and was like, if you have anything else to say to Virginia, say it to me, because now he didn't have a chance to sober up and think about what happened. And now he realizes that he needed to have a man-to-man conversation because that nigga was doing too much with the rah-rah. You know what I'm saying? Like, to me, men can sometimes express themselves in a way that feels like the next step is violence. And I feel like that within itself is too much. So even though you could have been like, listen, I understand how y'all feel, but this really ain't got nothing to do with y'all. Y'all can really just kind of mind y'all fucking business. And he could have walked off and left it at that. But what I am going to say I disagree with y'all about is about when they were talking to Paige. And then he went up and started screaming, don't talk to her. To me, that was an extension of him not liking the fact that they sympathized with her and not him. And I also feel like it was a way trying to control the situation. Like, why can't she talk to them just because you feel embarrassed about what the fuck you done got yourself into? You know what I'm saying? So that was kind of my feelings when he did all of that, because I felt like Paige actually wanted that energy from them. She wanted them to feel sorry for her. And I almost feel like that's probably a part of her personality, to kind of like to be the victim a little bit. And probably one of the things why they matched them together is because he's going to make her a victim and she likes to be one, because she's a glutton for punishment at the end of the day. And I feel like she liked the fact that they felt bad for her. And I also think she likes to be the wife that's, oh, you know, excuse him. Oh, I'm so sorry, you guys. I know, you know, like something about all of that for me, I think is her kind of liking all of the drama of it. She may not like the situation she's in, but I think she likes the attention and the drama of it all. Even if she won't admit it to herself, I think I see it in her.
Yeah, I didn't get my train of thought back, but I was definitely here for Chris collecting the girls, getting them together, because like I said, y'all don't really know us like that for real. Even if we did sign up for this show, like, y'all opinions aren't going to mean that much to me. I'm probably going to be more worried about what her family thinks than what y'all think. So if you care so much about Paige, go have a conversation with Paige. That was the other thing I was going to say. So he gave her Paige the out. He told her she didn't have to be in that situation. Paige is the one that chose to stay. So with her being the one choosing to stay, go have this conversation with her over there while you trying to have a conversation with me. Now, he was wrong when he said he was I forgot what she asked him, going above and beyond or something, just by telling her the information. Then you're supposed to do that. What are you talking about? But I do think he was dead wrong when he got on that van and he started to go off. I was like, okay, now you going to the extreme here. Now you already collected them and got them together, but now you doing too much over here. I don't understand Eric's point when he walked over. I don't know what he was trying to do. I guess he was just trying to diffuse the situation. He saw Virginia getting upset. But when he decided to check Chris, he checked Chris because Virginia got in his ass. Because he's already said, obviously he's influenced by her, because when she goes to have drinks, he feel like he got to have drinks too, because that's what she's doing. So when she got to that room, she checked his ass. So when they got there, he felt the need to go ahead and lead with the conversation of, you could do whatever you want to do, but you're not going to talk to her like that.
Because he walked in on the tip of, you know what I'm saying? And it was only weird because when they had the whole table scene and we see everyone there except Virginia and Eric, and Chris is trying to be apologetic or whatever, saying sorry to the cast and trying to praise, you know, Paige as if, you know, she's this great wife, whatever, she's this spiritual person, whatever, how she calmed him down and only his mama and grandma can do that, or whatever, blah, blah, blah. I do feel like Paige told him, you fucked up. Like, you fucked up. You should have acted that way, because she brought up how she told him that he was wrong and how he spoke to them. And I do think how he spoke to them was wrong, but I also feel like when Chris said to Eric, we not around here talking about you and your wife being drunk in the hotel room. So my thing is, the same way we see bullshit with y'all and we not bringing up, why even bring up bullshit with us? Like if you know me and my wife have this new situation that we told y'all about or whatever, but we not talking about y'all issues too. I felt that, meaning everyone should mind their own business for right now and let each couple handle their own marriage. But at the table, I appreciated that Paige had told Chris, fix this shit. Go in here, real calm, cool and collected or whatever, and say your apologies. And he did that. I liked how he apologized directly to Clara. Like, you know what I'm saying? I should not have done that. I felt I did feel the sincerity in his voice talking to them. I do think whatever his grandma said got to him, like, dude, you can't be doing that bullshit or whatever. So I feel like that was a real moment. The energy in the room had changed. And then Ian walked drunk ass Virginia and Eric came in to meet late and angry. And I feel like when Eric said, like, you can't talk to me, and when Chris parted the red, see them glasses and kind of moved, like, okay, you want to do it? I felt like Chris' energy changed. Like, he felt like, okay, I was just Jesus and Moses. Now I gotta come be Pharaoh and what you want. Let me part the red, because he was like, let me part this little red sea of glasses. Okay, what you say? And I felt like Eric came in and changed the energy, because Chris was like, we can be cool. You know what I'm saying? And I think had Eric and the girl sat down and didn't say shit at first, Chris could have possibly gave them the same apology that he gave to Clara. They didn't give him the chance to do that. And I don't feel bad that Chris matched Eric's energy. You want to go there? Okay, let's go there. What you want to do? You know what I'm saying? And, seeing that, Ryan got up and Vincent got up, whatever, and kind of kept them separate. But I agree with the couples that in that one moment, it was Eric and Virginia who came in and fucked up the vibe and made it be a fight versus a conversation where we can go further from here. But it's all his fault. Chris was the one using us to, not be. I'm like, no, y'all came in here not reading the room that no one was mad.
Tell them he did. But at the same time, even though they weren't reading the room, I think that Chris was still more upset about Virginia than Eric. Because Eric hadn't even said anything or done anything. But when Virginia stood up, like, you know what, fuck it, let's go back to the room. And then he stands up and starts, doing this thing where it's like he was going to try to fight Eric. That's when I got mad at Chris, because I was like, nigga, what energy are you on right now? Because nobody is on that. Like Eric,
I didn't notice that part. I didn't know that she got up first before Eric got up. I didn't see that part.
Yeah, Virginia got up because I think she was like, you know what? Fuck this. Let's just go back to the room. Like, that's what it seemed like to me. Like, she was saying, come on, let's leave. And Chris received this somehow like Eric was about to jump up to fight him. Like, I just felt like Chris was on one and looking for a fight at that point. I feel like when he thinks he's put his best foot forward and I've apologized, almost like a narcissist or somebody that's, like a sociopath, where it's like, I just apologize to you. You're not accepting my.
Don't be mad at me no more.
Yeah, you're not supposed to be mad at me. I apologize to you. And that was the vibe I got from him. Like, the fact that he thought he had done enough and that wasn't good enough pissed him off even more. But I did feel like Virginia was on bullshit, because when they were walking off and she was like, if that was my brother or my dad, he would have been laid out. And I'm just like, bitch, you was the one all in them people business. And if you had minded your business and kept your fucking opinions about their relationship to yourself, then nobody wouldn't have had to do anything. So take responsibility for your part. I do feel like everybody felt like it was some weight to put on everybody at the end of the day. It wasn't like they were just mad at Chris or just mad at Virginia and Eric. It was kind of like everybody
the whole situation.
Yeah. And I appreciated that, because I did feel like at certain moments, Eric and Virginia were fucked up. And in other moments, Chris was obviously on one. Like, calm down.
I'm gonna fight whoever. I'm gonna fight everybody. I'm like, Chris was pissed. He was pissed.
Yeah.
He was on some I'll fight everyone.
He was mad. And
I was like, oh, Vince had to get him together. Vince was like, I was like, Listen, I like all that energy. Wait.
It was comical. I think, yeah, Chris. Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. I ain't really see the sincerity when he apologized. But if that's what you did, then cool, you cool. Because I just want to see the change behavior if that's the case. Miss Page, you see how he's blowing up on people. It's only a matter of time before you say the wrong thing, he blow up on you. This man has shown you in so many different ways and told you in different ways that you is not it. He don't even want to have a joint account with you because he's probably going to be spending his money on women and whatever else. And he already can't manage his money, so you would think he would at least have a joint account for the important things. But long story short, he's showing you that he is incapable of being the guy that you need him to be. But fast forwarding to the dinner, Miss Virginia full of shit. She came straight in there talking about some damn shots. And the first person she asked was, Paige, do you want shots? Now, they definitely came with the energy because Virginia already had put Eric on game on how this is going to go. Now, when he starts to go in on Chris, Ryan says, just before you got here, Ryan clued him in on the fact that Chris was going around apologizing to everybody. That was Eric's cue to say, oh, I missed it. I'll allow you to continue to speak. Eric missed that fucking mark because he was trying to prove a point to Miss Virginia and almost got his ass whooped. So when Chris parted them glasses and they got into it and they stood up, it was what it was. I will say Chris could have also used that as an opportunity to be like be more calm about the situation, about how he handled it. So I think they both was wrong in how they approached the situation overall.
That's what I'm about to say, because I feel like there was definitely a moment after Ryan spoke where, Chris was like, no, let him finish saying what he was saying. You know what I'm saying? So I almost feel like you didn't even want Eric to respond differently. You was happy he was on that energy. Honestly, y'all, I felt like he only wanted to apologize to Ryan and Clara. I feel like if Eric and Virginia were at the table at the time, he still would not have apologized to them because he was pissed off at them specifically, more so than Ryan and Clara.
I give you that because he could have waited until they got there. Granted, they was late, but if he wanted to offer the apology to everyone, he could have waited until everybody arrived to give that apology. But he was definitely pissed off with them because of the man up conversation that he was having with Eric earlier. And he's like, how am I supposed, like, I'm manning up. What more man up do you want me to do? Like, the baby's not here yet. Like, I told my wife what's going on. So he was already frustrated.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, but you're right. Like, he was still mad at them since earlier.
And that man up comment, like what he was saying by man up is everybody can see how you're treating Paige, even though she is trying to
accepting it.
And I think Eric being fucked up doesn't have a barometer. He don't have the thing to stop himself from saying shit when he fucked up. So when he was sitting there like fucked up like that, he was like, yeah, man, you gotta man up, man, because she's here for you, man. You know what I'm saying? He's fucked up, but he's trying to tell him, dude, we all see that old girl is trying really hard with you, and it seemed like you don't really give a fuck. And he said himself at the table that it seemed, that he had detached from her emotionally, and you could tell he'd been on the phone with that ex and talking about what he gonna do with her. And I think everybody noticed it. I think it's shit that's going on when the cameras are rolling and when they're not.
Yeah.
So I think that, if everybody see what's going on, and how can we really sit up here and do this show and act like we don't see it? So I think that Eric and Virginia are those people. Also, and I meant to say this earlier, Jacob, when he gave his apology and Jacob was like, I don't know how to read Chris. I never know how to read Chris, but I don't really give a shit. When he said that, but I felt like he was the only person at the table that was real enough in that moment to say they read the bullshit in what he was saying, the fake sincerity. I think he knows exactly what he is supposed to say. I think he knows what people want to hear from him. I think he knows what Paige wants to hear from him. So there are these moments when he all of the right things. But honestly, I feel like he's such a good liar and such a good manipulator that you can't even tell whether he's bullshitting or being sincere. Because at the table, it did seem sincere because of what he was saying. But when you really look at everything that happened, and then after, when everybody goes to bed, continues to say certain things to Paige, where it's like, My nigga, what are you talking about? Like, you can tell he's on bullshit no matter what. Like, I just feel like he's on bullshit no matter what.
I think the after scene and them
agree.
in the hotel room, and then she's asking him like, okay, we get back home, what's up? And the fact that he brought up how even the whole conversation was like, what we're gonna do? When he's saying like, me and the ex have talked about getting back together, like what it would have looked like if we raised the kids together. I'm like, what are you talking about? And then she's like, well,
right.
How have we not had this conversation? And for him to bring up how, like, well, we're married, so that don't matter. No, it do, because you're saying to me that you have talked to her about getting back together. And even the whole thing about, well, last week he was blocked, this week we're having a baby. Well, if who unblocked her? How did she get to you? If she blocked, how did she call you? It's weird. I feel like Chris has these good moments, little bit, and then it's like 10% good moments and 90% complete and utter bullshit. And the fact that Paige sat there and heard him say how he's having these conversations with her, but he and Paige never talked about it. And when she keeps saying, well, I can't keep doing this. Well, why you keep coming back to the room and talking it out?
Keep doing it.
That pissed me off. I'm like, girl, when she said, I feel like, God has a plan for us, and I believe this could be a beautiful, I say, but a beautiful what? Nightmare? I'm like, Paige is delusional to the point to where we can't even be mad at Chris anymore, because Chris has shown her from the day of the wedding who he was and the fucked up shit he can do. And she keeps making reasons that God put them together, and she keeps saying something. At this point, I'm not mad at Chris for dogging her, because she won't leave.
Like for punishment. I think.
Well, hopefully Jesus fixes it, because the devil done already gave them a whole lesson plan, and Paige just won't listen. And I feel like whatever he puts her through and she go through, not that she deserves it, but that's her bed to lie in, because you are staying in the fire of this bullshit with this man who you don't have not nan tie to him. You've known him for 5 fucking days, okay? And divorce can be easy right now, okay? Had you not fucked him, it could have been an annulment, but you just want to keep being with him, and I don't know why. Like, it must be really good dick, because what other reason are you staying?
Well, because
she's using the Lord to keep her in that bondage. Girl, goodbye.
I don't even think the dick that good, because I mean, I just think she likes being close. It's probably one of those times where he be so absent in every other moment of their relationship, but as soon as they start fucking, all of a sudden he is all eyes and hands on you, and you're the only person in the world. I think it's probably one of those situations. I've been with somebody like that, where in public and around people, they act so disinterested, and then y'all get behind closed doors, and it's like, nigga, can you get off of me? Like, a little bit. So I think it's along those lines. But
yeah,
y'all think the dick good? I don't know. I feel like somebody needs to call Paige and ask her, is the dick good? We want to know.
I think it's good for what it is, because he's her quote unquote husband.
I just can't. I don't get why she likes him so much. It's because it's weird to watch and be like, she really staying with him. Like, he has a baby on the way, and you staying. Okay.
It makes me wonder, like, is it really him? Is it really him, or is it the marriage? The idea of being a wife that she's really holding on to and yearning for. That's why she's really sitting in that.
I think it's probably more so that than anything else. The idea.
But I think 5 days in, you can give up. Like this, you had this been 7 weeks. It's like, no, it's 5 days in. It's like, you don't have to stay. You can leave right now. Had this came out at the end of if it's decision day, if on decision day he found out old girl is pregnant, and even now she, 2 months pregnant, whatever time she 3 months pregnant at the end of the thing. If Paige, then, you know what? We've had these 2 months together. He's a great guy. I'm sticking out. But bitch, you found out he had a baby on the way 3 days into marrying a stranger. That's a big reason to leave, because again, no one comes on the show to get a family. Like, the person not supposed to be married, no, like, it's supposed to be a fresh start for two people who have never been married. So we have one dude who has a baby on the way. We have Eric, who is divorced. We have Ryan, who never said I love you. We have Jacob, who's a weird ass 80s freak and loves, retro stuff or whatever. And then we have
she called
who's left.
Weird.
And then we have Vincent. And we have Vincent, who we think got anger issues. Like, no one came into this thinking, okay, yeah, it's gonna be it's a train wreck in one way or the other for two main characters, for the alcoholic characters, and then for the baby. It's like, what does y'all Paige leave? Paige should leave Chris, and truthfully, Eric should leave Virginia, because she's a drunk and you're a pilot. You're married to a drunk and you're a pilot, and you don't want her party. She parties. Like, to me, these are reasons to leave in the beginning. Like, I don't want to waste 6 weeks of my life with someone when I know for a fact these are not my values. It's not as if she likes beef and you don't. She's an alcoholic and you're a pilot.
Nigga said, not as if it's like she like beef and you
Eric gonna get tired of Virginia.
He is.
He's gonna get tired of her for sure. Real quick, because like right now he's drunk. They're on vacation. No, please don't. Please don't kill her. But he yeah, like once they get past this little honeymoon thing, girl, he gonna be so tired of this girl. It's gonna be ridiculous. And she gonna be so tired of him. It's gonna be a mess.
Season is a whole mess. But that was the whole show, everybody. We have done our 2 hours, honeys. It is getting late, honeys, and people know whatever. Next week, I believe we're going to be on Niecy's channel. Niecy is in Texas. Yes. So Niecy has been without power. And so she just got power back today. So she's getting her life together in Texas. We wish her all the peace and lights and water and food and all that goodness. So she'll be back next week.
Yes,
next
Lord.
week on our channel. And then the week after that, we'll be on Jamie's channel. Make sure to follow all of our social medias, all of our YouTubes. Okay, we love you all. We have a good time every Thursday. Y'all want to add anything?
Nah, man.
What the find y'all stuff? Yeah, well, us in the description box. We don't know. Catch stuff in the description box. Each link to their stuff is in the description box. Do not forget that. We done, y'all. Bye, y'all. We gotta go.
Bye, y'all.